Hello everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to another Taurex and Atmos live stream here on this Thursday morning for me. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching from over the world. Hope you are doing well and welcome to another live stream, which means a new day, new opportunities, new trades, and of course a new set of winners for our live giveaway. So good luck to all those who are participating. It's good to see everyone who is active on the YouTube channel. It's hard to keep up with the chat at the moment, but I hope everyone has traded this current price action well. A little bit messy. We saw stocks really struggling for direction yesterday. We'll talk a little bit today about some of the news we've got coming out. We'll have a look at some of the markets that you people on the YouTube want me to take a look at, whether that be a lot of gold requests. I saw GU on there as well, so I will scroll up and have a look at some of those and have a look to see if there's any more live opportunities. I haven't got any trades personally live, but I'll have a look. That's the point of today, to try and find some new trades and some new opportunities. So I will be doing that as well. And of course, we'll be doing the giveaway towards the end of the stream. There'll be a live draw and the winners will be announced. So just to quickly give you an idea for those who maybe are new to the stream, and there's a few familiar faces, but there's also some new faces as well. How it works essentially is all you have to do is comment win on the YouTube chat, like I can see a few of you doing. That will add you to the live draw. My bot, which does the draw, is completely random. There are two prizes up for grabs, and those prizes, the first prize is a $10,000 Atmos funded challenge with our prop firm, and the second place or second prize is the 50% deposit bonus with Taurex up to $250. So if you deposited $500 with Taurex, you'd be eligible for a $250 bonus, which is fantastic. Terms and conditions do apply, and when I send the winner the message that they've won and how to claim, you will be sent the terms and conditions as per whichever prize you won, whether it's an Atmos or a Taurex one. So if you are a winner today, and good luck to those who have participated. If you are a winner, all you have to do is verify your Discord username. You have to put your Discord username on the YouTube chat, because that means that I can message you on Discord and show you how to claim your prize. There was a little bit of an issue last time. I didn't realize that people couldn't actually put their email address on the chat. I think YouTube bans it. I think they see it as spam. So I know there was we sorted it out in the end, but this is the way that we're going to do it from now on. So yeah. Hello to those who are on the YouTube channal as well. Yes, hello. Only two giveaways. Well, two giveaways every single stream's quite a lot. We'll look to change it if we need to, but at the moment it is two giveaways. I don't know how many more giveaways you want me to give. Money doesn't grow on trees. Hello to anyone anyway. Good to see you. I can see some familiar names on there. We've got VR Gopi. Hello to you. Shyam. Hello to you. Good to see you. Shyam was one of our winners on Monday. It's good to see you. Daniel, hello to you as well. I hope you're doing well. I have got a bot which is currently banning some spam messages, so I do apologise. I'll have a look at that and try and tweak that to see if it's any different. So everyone does get one entry. If you are a subscriber of the YouTube channel, of the Taurex YouTube channel, you do get double the chance to win. So you do get two entries essentially. So make sure, if you do want double the chance to win, you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and everything else other than that it is completely random. Okay, so do me a favor, if you are active on the chat, please put the markets that you want me to cover for today, and if you can, put the time frame that you're looking at as well, and I'll give you some analysis on that time frame and on that particular market as well. So we're going to spend the first part of the stream just taking a look at some of the news events that we had out of yesterday, which essentially was, if I go back was it Tuesday, I believe it was. My last stream was on Monday. So we had the US CPI data, which has driven a lot of the market moves and a lot of the market volatility that we may have seen this week. So US inflation came in at 2.3%. You can see that was slightly lower than what the forecast was, it sort of put a dent in my dollar long opinion, to be honest. And we'll talk a little bit about the dollar and analyze it. I still am broadly bullish on the dollar because I think we are still going to see potentially an unwinding of those positions from when everyone was pricing in, the bad news from the Trump tariffs. But the weak inflation has put the question out there, surely the Fed are going to start cutting rates soon. And if they do start cutting rates, that could potentially mean a period of weaker dollar. So I was bullish on the dollar quite a lot when it was Monday, and my opinion hasn't changed as such, but I've tweaked it, and I believe potentially what we might see is maybe some dollar consolidation or some dollar weakness actually, if we start to see more indication of a Federal Reserve interest rate cuts. So we'll take a look at that. I can see the requests coming through. So we've got gold 4 hour, gold 1 hour. We've got pound Japanese yen on the 30 minutes, WTI as well. I can see people WTI on there as well. So I'll take a look at some of those. So yeah, that was the inflation print. And when we come into today's news, you can see that on my financialjuice.com website, you can see that the UK GDP figures came in quite strong. Actually, the UK economy expanded at its fastest pace in 1 year, which is typically, I would say, quite positive for the pound. So if I saw a request there on pound US dollar, that's definitely a market that I think could see some good market opportunities as well. And so that's an interesting one. We've got some German wholesale price index, quite a lot of inflation data today, especially out of Europe. And also I wanted to point you in the direction of, if I go onto the next onto today's here, you can see that we've got the PPI data out of the US. So for those who don't know what PPI data is, it's a high impact news event. It will drive some volatility around the news event. And essentially what it is it's what's known as services inflation. So the main inflation print that we see is the CPI, which we saw on Tuesday. But the next important really inflation print that we get is the PPI data, which is like your services inflation. So that will also drive volatility. So I believe that we're going to see some good moves on the US markets today. Zerem, why are you so focused on fundamentals? Fundamentals are really what drive the markets, okay? So I always use like the first part of the stream just to have a look at the news events to see where the volatility is going to be. Because when we know where the volatility is going to be, it can give us the best chance of the bigger moves. So I don't use just fundamentals to trade. I will use my fundamentals to say what's coming up, where is the moves likely to be, what market should I be focusing on as a result of that. Then I'll go on to the charts and I have a look at the technical analysis, okay? That's typically what I tend to do. Okay, fantastic. Right, so let's have a look at some of the moves that we're seeing at the moment. So let's just start on gold, and we'll spend a bit of time on gold from top to bottom, because I know a lot of people trade gold and there's a lot of interest in what's going on at the moment. So I'll start on the daily time frame and then I'll move onto the lower time frames as well. So from a higher time frame perspective, you can see if we follow the market structure, bullish, see that this low here, I mentioned it on Monday, this daily low here at 3,200, for me that was like the point in time where I believe that gold was turning bearish, and that's simply from a market structures point of view. So for me right now, I actually believe that we could be seeing gold broadly moving down to around the 3,020 area. Why is that? Because you can see down at 3,020 was our last bullish order block from where this last bullish move happened. So I believe there will be some support there. So I think we could be in for some gold downside actually. Now, the difficulty is that what we've seen a break of this structure. We called that very, very nicely. Markets don't tend to move in straight lines. What we might see before the move lower is to create, before we get a move down to this bullish order block, is we might see a snap higher up to create our new lower high. So, drop down to the 4 hour time frame. Again, a more zoomed in version. There was our lower high that was printed, and you can see that the market created almost like this bearish flag pattern and then has broken that low. So if I zoom in on what we see right now, what we could see for those who are looking for short-term gold bullish price action is basically a move up towards this imbalance, okay, and a retest of that low that was printed. So I believe that from here, if we use, let's just mark something. If we use that low and we do something like this, that's a 5-to-1 risk reward trade. And as well there, I can see Musa says, where is the liquidity? Well, the liquidity sits at the moment. There's some internal liquidity here. Okay. That gives us extra confluence, because what I would like to see is I'd like to see gold make a move up, take out this liquidity, test the daily low that was broken, and make a move into this imbalance. And then for me, that potentially could be an area where I would personally look to go short, just from my own personal perspective. And that would be like my Sherry says, wow, that risk reward. Yeah, it's good risk reward. It's a 5-to-1 trade. And then when you look at it from a fundamental standpoint, we're seeing more trade deals out of the US and other countries, particularly China, and also European countries as well. All those countries that tariffs were on, basically, we're starting to see some trade deals. That is lowering the risk in the markets. Gold is seen as a safe haven in times of risk and in times of fear. Well, if that gets reversed, right, then we could be seeing a time where gold is actually seen the top for now. So that's something I could look for. I'm just reading some of the questions here. If you do have any questions regarding, like, technically, like the swap fees in Atmos, just head over to the Atmos Discord channel, and we have a team of moderators in there who will be able to help you. And I'll just put you should be able to scan the QR code on my screen. Join the Taurex Discord channel. You can join the Atmos one as well. And you can ask one of the moderators regarding any technical questions on there. Ali, can we look for any confirmation from that area? Definitely. Why not? So instead of actually, this is something that sometimes I do, if you're not sure on the trade, instead of actually just blindly going short there, what you can wait for is a lower time frame reaction. So if I delete this, so imagine I'm on the lower time frames now. Hypothetically, gold makes a move up towards this area. We see a lower time frame reaction, then we see a retest of a bearish order block or liquidity sweep or something like that, however it forms, right, into our supply zone or something like that, and then we can turn a 5-to-1 trade. And obviously this is a riskier way of doing it because you're looking at lower time frames, but you can turn a 5-to-1 trade into an 18-to-1 trade by waiting for that lower time frame reaction. That's something that you can do for sure. So when I drop down onto the 1 hour time frame, we know we've got our higher time frame set up. And then when we go onto the lower time frames, you can see on the 1 hour we've actually created this bullish engulfing candle as well. So for short term, we could see gold make a move up to that area. And let me drop down even further, maybe down to the 5 minute. And you can see that reaction. And this is counter trend. But if you wanted to go counter trend long today on a 5 minute time frame, okay, you can see we've had that explosion. We've had that sort of explosion in bullish price action now on the 5 minute. We've also seen a break of structure. Okay, we've also got a liquidity grab down on these lows. So we could look for this. Now for me personally, if I was trading that as a long, I would look for my stop loss to cover that liquidity sweep on the 5 minute, right? And then I would target probably that liquidity, that 4 hour liquidity we spotted a minute ago, and that's a 6.5 to 1 counter trend buy. So there's a lot of opportunities in gold. There always is, because there's so much volatility. The way that I see it, if I want to summarize this as a trade, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. And Daniel said my trend rider trades are going sour. We're going to have a look at the trend rider strategy as well to look for some dollar trades. And I'll take a look at what's happened on the trend rider itself. Just reading some of the more comments that we've got here. Can we take a long to that FVG? Yes, that's exactly what this potentially is. It's a 6.5 to 1 risk reward counter trend buy on a lower time frame. So for me, when I do that, my risk is at a minimum, because it's always a higher risk setup. Because I know that for me, the daily's turning bearish, and we could see a move down to 3,000 because we've got that higher time frame bullish order block. So that's my main setup. But you can get those intraday scalping setups in the middle of that. I just personally, I'm not a scalp trader. I'm more of a swing trader or a position trader. So I hold trades for like maybe between 2 days and 2 weeks is like my typical time I hold a trade. I've got nothing against people that scalp gold, etc. It's just that with the job I've got, and I record a lot of content, and I've got meetings and stuff, I haven't got the time to be like constantly on the chart scalping all the time. So I sort of switched my strategy to a more of a longer time frame strategy rather than a shorter time frame one. That's just something that I tend to do. So that's my view on gold. So make sure you save those charts, and if you're not in the Discord channel, please scan the QR code on the screen, because I will put these trades in the or these pieces of analysis, should I say, in the trade ideas section. I'll do that now. So this is our counter trend gold by scalp. And then we've got our higher time. This is my like higher time frame setup. This is the one that I prefer. Okay. Is something like that. Just let me send that in the trade ideas section of both the Taurex and the Atmos Discord channels. We've got some more requests, and I'll go through them. We've got the NASDAQ as a request. We've also got, I saw GJ, GU, so GJ, GU, oil, and the NASDAQ. Is there any other markets that anyone's looking at they want me to cover? That's my gold H4. And that's my counter trend. Thank you very much, Anna. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Cheyenne says he's still waiting for your edge. A lot of trading, that is what trading's about, right? A lot of people, I think, get caught up a lot in the analysis and whatever concepts you're using. Like I saw someone say about divergence, again, a great piece of technical analysis. Smart money concepts I use a lot. I use indicators as well. Guys, it's not all about the strategy and the concepts that you use. It really isn't. Kados, hello. Good to see you. I met Kados yesterday at the event. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good to see you. Right. Yeah, so a lot of it is down to your risk management, okay? If you can make sure that you're always on top of your risk management, and by that I mean not just before you place the trade, but when you're in the trade as well. Do you have a risk management plan? Do you take some money off the table? Do you look to move your stop loss to entry at a certain point? Have a plan for your risk management before you enter the trade and when you're in the trade. And then all you need is some sort of edge. Okay. Suleiman says you was caught off guard on the sell of gold. Yeah, you have to remember as well, this is why fundamentals are important, is because the reason we saw gold trades like in a straight line up was because there was a lot of risk in the markets, there was a lot of uncertainty, there was a lot of fear, and gold is seen as a safe haven investment, particularly from the likes of China. They bought loads of gold. It's seen as a safe haven investment during times of uncertainty, but that uncertainty has been reduced because we see trade deals, because we see potential peace talks in the war. We saw briefly that conflict between India and Pakistan. That's now a ceasefire. We see potentially the same thing happening potentially in Ukraine and Russia, and that's just feeding into more, or it's feeding into less uncertainty and less risk, and therefore we see gold sell off naturally. That's why fundamentals are important. Risk management is very important indeed. Okay, let's take a look, because there's some. Let me look at the other requests that aren't dollar pairs, because I'll do dollar pairs at the end. We had a request for GJ on the 30-minute. For those of you who trade that, GJ on the 30-minute time. Oh, look at this. We're trading into Monday's gap. That is an FVG from last Friday to Monday's open. Even better, we've actually traded into the 50% of it. I know this isn't 30-minute. I think, was it Bobby who maybe said that? Look at this, 50% of that fair value gap. I like this a lot. And you have to remember that we just saw the UK GDP data come in quite strong, which is a positive thing for the UK economy, which is in turn a positive thing for the pound. I like this. I like this setup. This is nice. And we've seen a reaction. So we're a bit late to the fight. We're a bit late to the 4-hour entry. However, look at this. This is on the 1 minute. Reaction, high-low, break of structure. Look at this. I quite like this trade. Look at the risk reward on it as well. 15 to 1. 15 to 1 risk reward. That's crazy. Again, obviously this is a lower time frame reaction entry. So for me, my risk would be much lower. But that looks pretty strong, and I like the fundamentals. The Japanese yen is seeing flow. We're seeing flows out of the Japanese yen for the same reasons we're seeing flows out of gold, which means that we could be in for some more Japanese yen weakness. So trade like banks. Hello. Why do people hate SMC? I don't know. I like SMC. I think the problem with SMC is that it's like a cult following, and people believe that it's SMC or nothing. And it's the wrong attitude to have, because SMC works just like any other piece of technical analysis works. What makes SMC a good SMC trader is his risk management and his psychology. The same with what makes a good RSI divergence trader a good RSI divergence trader. It's his risk management and his psychology. It's not really about the concept. Just gives you an edge. That's all it does. I like SMC because I made the most money trading SMC, so I stuck with it because I enjoy it. It's not necessarily because I think it's the best. There are other things that I do as well, and because I'm an analyst, I know pretty much all the different types of analysis. So I like that for pound Japanese yen, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look as well at the US 100. I'm just taking a quick look as well at the giveaways. We've got 51 entries for the giveaways, but there is only 16 people currently watching live. So remember, you can't claim the prize unless you comment your Discord username. So if you are commenting win and leaving the stream, then you're missing out on the potential winner. Okay. The Nasdaq. Let's have a look. This was my short on the Nasdaq, which didn't work too well, but we did nearly get 1-to-1. I actually lost 1% on that trade, and we blasted higher. This high was very important for me on the Nasdaq. I'm on the 4-hour time frame. To be honest with you, I don't trade markets that are currently moving in a straight line. So for me on the Nasdaq, for me to want to be interested in looking for a buying opportunity, I want to see, at least a move. At least a move down to like 21,000. If I can see a move to 21,000, like sort of somewhere around, pretty much like the middle of the move we had yesterday, 21,000 for me, around that area, I think we could see some more. I'm definitely, for me personally, I'm not looking to sell stocks now. I have to say that when Trump was introducing these tariffs, I was bearish on the stock market, like pretty much everyone was. I didn't expect them to be reversed so quickly, and the trade deals to be made. So if you did call that, well done, because I didn't call that, I'll be honest. We did make some good money from the shorts at the time, and we only lost 1% on another short, so we still made money from that time period. But the price action now is telling me that stocks are performing well, and there's not too many signs I see of a recession. The jobs data in the US was quite strong, and inflation is falling. We're seeing trade deals, we're seeing peace talks. So for me, I think we could be seeing some more upside in the stock market as well. Do I think Bitcoin will replace the US dollar anytime soon? No, I don't. I do not think that we will see Bitcoin replace the US dollar. I think it has a place in the financial system. I still see cryptocurrency at the moment as a speculative vehicle in the financial markets. But I'm in this sort of camp where I use cryptocurrencies as part of my investment strategy. So I have money in cryptocurrencies, not as probably much as some people. A lot of people sort of like just put all their money in crypto. I like to diversify a little bit more. So my favorite cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, like the more stable ones. And I sort of have an attitude where I'll buy and hold them for years. I won't necessarily trade them as such on like scalping them, but I will hold as an investment. The fib golden ratio is a great. You can actually see that the fib that I've got is a customized fib, which uses. So if we use this, that 21,000 that I marked sits in my golden zone between that 61.8 and 50% area. For me, that's my golden zone. You can see I've actually got it as that orangey gold color. So you can see that as well. Osama, please give away Connor, give away Atmos merch. Maybe we could start introducing some merchandise. Maybe we could start introducing some merchandise to the giveaways. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. Maybe we could organise that. Okay, right. we're gonna end the analysis with my trend rider strategy on dollar pairs, and then we will see. Oh, I'm seeing oil down 3% today. Wow. So a bit of a risk-off mood today. We actually filled this fair value gap. Let's have a look at that. This could be a good short for oil, for anyone who trades oil. Break below the fair value gap. That was the fair value gap from Friday to Monday. And a move lower. I think we could get 1-to-1 out of this, which would, because I'm not really that bearish on oil prices, to be honest. I was, and we got some fantastic, but look at this long. I think if we, just trying to think, I think I'd probably stick to a 3-to-1 on that trade if I was going to short that. because the main move was here. This, if you were on my streams a few weeks ago, we called this oil long fantastically well. I know Lara, who's on the stream, knows about that one as well. So we caught that brilliantly, and we are seeing and that's quite a big bearish move actually. So we might be able to catch on some momentum there. Okay, right. I know some people who are on my streams a lot trade this particular strategy that I've got, that I use personally. It's called the Trend Rider strategy. It's a mechanical based strategy. It basically uses an EMA 12 and an EMA 36, and there's a reason behind that. And when I release my academy courses, I will explain the reasoning behind why we use those particular EMAs 12 and 36. All I'll say is do the math, multiply 4 by 12 and 4 by 36, yeah, and you'll get whole days or days and a half, yeah. So like, just do the math and you'll see what I mean. Count the hours when you multiply the 4-hour time frame, so 4 by the EMA, and that's the reason we use it. So I'll explain that more at some point. But in terms of like the actual entry requirements for the strategy, so we can see that on dollar pairs, if we start at the top on GU, what we're looking for is a crossover of the EMAs, and then for those EMAs to expand away from each other, and that tells me that the trend is building. It's a trend following strategy, and we then try and get in at the retest. So for example, we saw a bullish crossover here, and then we enter at the next test of that first EMA. So this one is this EMA 12. It's always the EMA 12, the red one, EMA 12. And you can see test of the EMA 12, and how the strategy works theoretically is we go long, and then we have our stop loss pretty much at the EMA 36, and then we ride the trend higher, something like that. So that's how it works. So what you see here is it allows us to be able to, at times, not get caught up in choppy markets. So when we see like the constant crossovers, that's telling us, or when the moving averages are like together like that, that's telling us that this is not a market that we want to trade, because you're going to be chopped out. And you can see that whether you were buying or selling, you know, it would have been tough to make profit out of that. That's a period of consolidation. So we don't trade that one. Dollar yen, you can see we have a bullish crossover right here. We look for the retest of the EMA 12, which was there. We go long, stop loss, you know, around the EMA 36, and then we try and ride the trend higher. And you can see how that works, right? It works very, very well. Now, this indicator down here, the ADX indicator, right? That basically is our exit signal. So the way we exit a trade is we wait for the ADX to cross, to move higher. When the ADX moves higher, that means the trend is growing. Whether it's a bullish or a bearish trend, it means the trend is strengthening. So we wait for the trend to strengthen, and then we wait for a crossover above this 40, and then when it crosses back below, at that point, we exit the trade. That's what we use it for. 5 EMA, I mean, it depends. This strategy uses the 12 EMA and the 36 EMA. So that's the ones that I use. Mamu says that you use the 200, the 50, and the 10. Yeah, they're great levels as well. They're the ones that are great for like the daily and the weekly time frames, for sure. So I imagine that if you try to re-enter here, like the strategy doesn't always work. No strategy always works, and this is an example of a loser. You can see that we would have potentially gone long there. But you have to remember, you always want to try and get in at like the first test, as long as the gap is at least 30 pips. Between these two gaps, we want at least 30 pip gap, otherwise the trend is not built enough. So maybe a re-entry loss there. USD CAD, that was probably our entry. There's potentially a re-entry coming here. I don't love it because we can see we've already breached the EMA 36. I'm just trying to scroll through to see if I can find the best. That's a mess. AED USD is an absolute mess. I wouldn't try and trade that one. Euro dollar. This is the trade that we had last week. Euro dollar, test of the EMA 12, Nice gap between the EMA 12 and 36. A little bit of drawdown on the trade, and then we created a new low. Unfortunately, we didn't get a crossover on the ADX, so I believe it closed out at about 0.7% profit. And at the moment, we're sort of in the middle of the EMA, so there isn't anything there. NZD USD, we've got a fresh crossover, but the gap between the EMAs isn't enough. And USD Swiss franc, yeah, I wouldn't trade that one either. I think the best one, if we want to trade any dollar longs, is probably USD CAD. So I'd look for something like this. I'll show you what it looks like. Wait for a test. Stop loss 33 pips. ADX has got room to build, so that would be my setup for the strategy. ADX it isn't RSI. No, ADX isn't RSI. It's different. So yeah, it's still a stochastic. RSI does tell us overbought and oversold, right? But the ADX tells us strong or weak trend. So when the ADX is down here, like for example, when the ADX is down at these low levels, you can see look at the price action. It's choppy and it's consolidating. There's no trend. But when you see a move higher or move lower, you can see how the ADX explodes higher with it. So it tells us that the strength of the trend is there. So like, it's always good to be on the back of trends, right? That's why I like to trade as a trend trader. You always want to know whether the trend is actually trending. And the ADX is a great indicator to do that. Okay, right. Let's do the giveaway. So, as you can see, just to remind people who have entered, thank you very much for those 53 entries. If you are a subscriber of the YouTube channel, then you would have you've got double the chance to win. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel to be have a chance of winning double, basically. Make sure if you are drawn as a winner right now, please, I need you to drop your Discord username in the YouTube chat. And I sort of give you like 2 to 3 minutes to do that. If not, I have to redraw, okay? Because without your Discord username, I can't send you the message to claim the prize. Does that make sense? Okay, good luck to those. The first winner is going to be the 10K Atmos funded challenge. So good luck to those who are participating, who are active on the stream. Choose a winner. So Trading Life, you have just won the 10K Atmos challenge. Well done. So please, Trading Life, if you are there, you are a winner. Please drop your Discord username here for me to message to claim your prize. Well done to you, Trading Life. Fantastic. Good stuff. I'll just give it a minute or so, and then I'll draw the second prize. It would be a shame if Trading Life is not here to claim the prize. There are 2 winners, Nasdi. There's 2 winners. First winner wins a 10K Atmos challenge. Second winner wins a 50% deposit bonus. Well done, Trading Life. Trading Life is here. Please drop your Discord username for me, and I'll drop you a message on Discord. Okay. Second winner. Second winner of the day. This is a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. Again, if you win, Discord username in the chat for me. Good luck to everyone. Rerolling the winner now. Zerim, Z-E-R-I-Y-M. Please drop your Discord username. You have just won a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. Well done to you. Congratulations to the 2 winners. You can also message me on Discord as well. Zerim, hello to you. Well done. Discord, Shagu0709, well done. I will message you after the stream so you can claim your prize. I've got it. Nice one. If you didn't win, we are back on Monday for our weekly preview stream, where we will be doing this again. So come back, put your name in the hat, and for a chance to win. So I need Zerim to put his Discord username in the chat for me, or I will have to redraw that winner. No problem. Thank you very much, Osama. I wouldn't leave just yet, guys. I haven't had the username from Zerim just yet. May the markets be with you all, indeed. Okay, I've just had a message. Okay, right, we're good. We're good to go. Right, so congratulations to those two winners. You'll be contacted to claim your prize on Discord. I will see you all on Monday, and I hope that the markets treat you well. We've had some good analysis, some good trades in there, so good luck to those who have placed any trades today. I'm looking at the USD CAD, and I'm particularly looking at that gold short, so I'll probably place 1% on the gold short as a risk, so I will update you all on Monday how that goes. Hopefully see you all on Monday for our weekly preview stream, and of course trade well and trade safe, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a good weekend. Thank you very much.